All right, so this is how the budgets look right now. They have this new budget that's up here called Dodge Clock. I'm not sure what that is about. I'm not sure why it's needed. To me, it just looks like another scheme. There's no deficit for it, but you wonder, like, what if a deficit is there? What if a deficit does happen? Like, who is that really going to affect? So this is why you always have to watch what people are doing and what these governments are trying to issue in. You have to watch, man, because like they're trying to create their own jargon of language before the public, and the public is trying to catch on to it. And it's like the public, they don't know anything about politics. They don't know anything about political science. Like the jargon that Roland Martin uses, these committees that happen on these Capitol Hills, these state capitals, like the jargon that they use, it's like it's in over people's heads. People don't understand what they're talking about. Then the cabinet members who are sitting in on these meetings, they know the people don't know what they're talking about. This is why the people never show up for these meetings. Like I was just on a call with a community liaison in my area. She's for the district, the city council. She's with the city council. She's with the district, and she was telling me like there's going to be a constitution debate, for whether or not the Constitution needs to be amended or it needs to be revised, repealed. She was talking about this to me. She was like, "You should attend," and I'm listening to what she's saying, and it didn't make sense to me because I'm just thinking like, you have to be there in person. Like there's no Zoom, and she's saying all these things, and I'm like, I don't understand why. I don't understand what she's saying. Because like the language she's using. So I'm sitting here and I'm listening to Elissa Slocum talk to Doug Collins. He's a chaplain for the U.S. Air Force. I'm sitting here listening to him, and it's like, we got to be careful, man. We have to be careful about, we got to be careful about who we elect. That's the first thing I really want to say. We got to be careful about who we elect. Like I'm sitting here and it's like, why am I'm sitting here and I'm just thinking to myself, like, my pension can be up for any type of discussion of being canceled. Like they just called my phone. It was like, we had to, they didn't call my phone. They sent me a letter. They was like, we're sorry for and I'm thinking like, well, who is the mail letter to? Like the mail is lettered to me. It's lettered to me, but they're in the mail. They're telling me like, we're sorry for the loss of Denzel such and such, like we're sorry for the loss. And the mail is lettered to me and it's about me. So they're saying the VA is basically saying they're sorry for my loss. They sorry that I've died. They're talking about my deceased estate, and they basically canceled my pension. So I'm trying to figure out how can I get my pension back and to make sure that I don't miss out on my mortgage, my bills, and all of that. So I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what they're going to do with it. I did contact my governor. I contacted my rep, Sharif Thanathar, whatever his name. It's an Indian guy. I don't know these people, man. Like I didn't even know he was my rep. Like I'm just sitting here. I'm just going through the list of contacts so I can contact. I didn't even know the guy was my rep. But I'm like, I got to contact him and, I got to let them know, like, I can't lose my pension, because if I lose my pension, I'm going to have to leave the state. I'm going to have to leave the state because I can't be able to, I can't stay here. So like, that's going to be an emergency restart. So They sent me this back, and they basically the VA basically thought I died, which is why they discontinued my benefit. So they thought I died. So I looked through the web. I found out like there's a number of people who went through this before, and they had a bunch of jokes about the VA not being up on time with what's going on. The VA makes common mistakes about people's deaths, and they make these mistakes. So people, it can be a mother or a father, or a mother could, her husband could have died, and the mother, she's raising the kids, she's widowed. She can be stuck with the kids and not have a way to, she can have not a way to, make sure the kids can get to school the next day because she don't have any money. And the VA will be aware of this, and they still won't do anything as far as like getting the widow any type of money or assets. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm sitting here and I'm listening to Alyssa Slockoff, and I'm listening to the guy Doug Collins, and it reminds me that the reason we have a messed up budget is because we don't know who all are in the budget. Like we don't know who's all in this budget. We don't know. Like it's no reason that you should have 40 million people who's owed a debt, and the U.S. national debt is continually rising. You can't pay the people off their debt. Like you got to cut corners. You got to talk to certain people. These people got to go behind a room and talk to these people. We don't know if it'll get back to them in time, and these people got to be aware of it. This just lets me know like they're not playing fair. Whenever you have someone walk out of a back room talking to a senator, a newly elected senator, like she's gotten to the point where she feels like, I'm not new here anymore. Like I'm one of you all. Like the way she's talking to Doug Collins, it's like you would swear like she's been in this seat for years on at a time. And she's just gotten there. She just come out the Debbie Stabenow. She's just gotten there. And it's like she's in there making moves now. So it's like this whole thing about budget cutting and debt, just get black people their stuff back, man. Because like I just be thinking, man, like the stuff that we go through is like it's unheard of. It's unheard of. It's unheard of. It's unheard of. I'm sitting in the back of the seat of a Uber ride, and it's a lady in front of me. She's coughing all over the place, and I'm like, man, I know I'm gonna get sick. You know what I mean? Because like the windows are rolled up. The Uber driver don't want to let the windows down. I end up getting sick a day later. So I got a high fever. I'm unable to make my content, you know what I'm saying, that I can enjoy. You know what I mean? Like, it's these budget cuts. We don't need Medicare. I don't know anyone that's on Medicare. Like we don't need Medicaid. Like who's Social Security really benefiting? Who's Defense and War benefiting? You got all these numbers and inflation rates, and you only got 9,000 saved per family. That's ridiculous. But that's all I want to come here and talk about was that that meeting that they had on Capitol Hill, like, that was discussed over a month ago. Like it's crazy that, we have to go through these times and like have a certain level of uncomfortability and, uncertainty as far as like, where our money is going and when our money is coming. Like most of us are just on one income. You know what I mean? On just one income. And like if we lose that, we can't depend on a job. You know? The average person who doesn't have a 4-year degree is probably going to make $200 a week in hourly income. That's on a minimum wage of maybe $10 an hour, maybe. So that bi-weekly stipend you're going to take home is probably going to be like $400, if that. That's nothing to live off of. This is why I'm thinking like, man, I don't see myself like just saying if I don't get my benefit back, I don't see myself getting another job. Like I just see myself like taking the money that I sell my house with, possibly going to another state or just leaving America. You know what I mean? Because it's like, why am I working a job just to try to make ends meet? Like, why am I doing that? Like, why? Great peace, Yakoki.